And here we are, past the trade deadline, past mid-season. And on Thursday night primetime, we will see what this team is really made of. A short week to practice, and we're going to be taking on the New York Jets here to start this episode off. Don't want to waste any time getting into this one, so without further ado, let's get this one underway. And the New York offense will start with the ball, and we are underway here from New England. The return is Gibson. He gets about up to the 25, and out comes Justin Fields. 17-5 touchdown to pick ratio, almost 2,000 passing yards. It's honestly been compared to the rest of his career, a very good passing season for Justin Fields. Obviously not always been the biggest passer, but I think in this New York Jets offensive system, he's doing okay. Can I say that for real life right now? I have no clue, but the Jets are no longer winless as I'm recording this. As we are going to pick up a sack there, Christian Barmore. And it's going to be third down and long for Fields and the Jets offense. Garrett Wilson, the superstar wide receiver, out to the left. They will bring a tight end in motion. That is Mason Taylor. And right to Robert Spillane. Fields being hit and almost being brought down for a sack, just trying to get rid of it, and instead goes right into the hands of Bobby Spillane. That is Keon White there with the quarterback pressure and forcing an errant pass, and out comes Drake May, and the New England offense starting with great field position. He will drop back to pass, looking over the middle, and he will complete it to Stephon Diggs. First down and goal. Now it looks to be second down and goal. And we're going to audible to a run and wide open up the middle. The Red Seas part for Antonio Gibson for the first touchdown on Thursday. Obviously, the Jets in real life have not been great. Their defense has been one of the bright spots for them, but trying to get above 500 here against us is the New York Jets, but so far our defense is playing outstanding, as that's going to be a TFL for Christian Barmore. And that is Garrett Wilson left wide open, breaking our guy's ankles. Oh my goodness, I think that was Spillane. Just get off the field. I'm sorry, you made a good play previously, but still. As they're going to go back to Garrett Wilson for about a gain of 15. Now Fields will drop back to pass, looking, firing to Garrett Wilson once again, making a catch, and he is down to the 3-yard line of the New England territory. Obviously, Garrett Wilson, the number one wide receiver on this team. They don't really have anybody else. I mean, they have some pieces, Mason Taylor and Breece Hall heading the backfield. Braylon Allen in the depth chart as well, but still, this Jets team has not really found a way to run the ball. As Fields is going down. That looks to be Martin Mapu, recently moved to Mike linebacker, getting the sack there on the blitz. And it is going to be third and goal. Fields will find his man over the middle, that is Wilson, but he will be stopped short, and they are forced to take 3. Back out on the field is the New England offense. It's going to be a carry to Henderson. He is stuffed. Not a great play. And that just killed the drive. And they are forced to punt. Or we are forced to punt, rather. And Breece Hall just breaking everybody's tackle and finally brought down from behind by Christian Barmore. Great hustle there by the big defensive tackle. Looking over the middle, it's going to be Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, and will he be touched? It does not look like it. Down the sideline in the end zone is Garrett Wilson. Just bad pursuit angles, bad tackle attempts, and that allows Wilson to get into the end zone. A good carry there for Henderson. They called him short, so on third down. On play action, May looking, firing across the middle, and it's caught by Kyle Williams. The rookie receiver has been a big part of the offense so far this season, and he will continue to be a focal point, as it's going to be a good carry for Ramondre Stevenson, who has also been a focal point of the offense. Him and Henderson have both been fantastic. A two-headed backfield. Sonic and Knuckles of last year, seeming of this year. Drake May is just going to take off, untouched into the end zone. Some people are comparing Drake May in real life to the next Tom Brady. I don't quite see it yet, but I've expressed on this channel before that Drake May is one of my favorite quarterbacks as far as sophomore season goes, and in real life, he's projecting that. He's playing fantastically, and just playing great. As we're going to get a sack there from Milton Williams, forcing them into a long situation. Two running backs in the backfield. It'll be a snapped to... Oh my goodness. It's going to be... I was about to say... It's going to be snapped to Justin Fields, but... Freaking Alan Lazard just got depleted. And on the run, Garrett Wilson open once again, shredding the Patriots defense here today. Or should I say here tonight? Yeah, I think that's the right call. But it's going to be Garrett Wilson again. Threading the needle is Justin Fields. In this shotgun formation once again. Looking, Fields is going to scramble. And Mapu just doesn't have the speed to keep up with Justin Fields. I mean, people saying Justin Fields is a running back, I don't really see it as much anymore. I think he's tried to develop as a passer. As far as for the Jets this season, in real life he hasn't been great, but finally, just they pick up a win. Aaron Glid's first win as a head coach. And we'll see how that reflects for the rest of real life, but first and goal now for Fields and the Jets offense. Looking to take a lead. Fields scrambling around in the backfield looking for Taylor, and it is forced out of his hands by Jabril Peppers. Has played very well to this point. I think he could probably be an all-pro safety this year. And I think he's showing that as far as defensive capability, defensive IQ. But Fields is just too quick for the defense. He just spun out almost all of our defense, which is absurd. So, not great. A little bit of time before the halftime report, and a screen pass there for Ramondre Stevenson. We're going to be in the hurry-up now. What will Drake May decide to do here? We're going to drop back to pass. Going to find Stevenson in the flat route, and he will wisely get out of bounds. 24 seconds left to go. Dropping back, May looking, finding Hunter Henry, just thrown right over the defensive end, dropping back in coverage, Jermaine Johnson. And it inching ever closer to the end zone. Going to take a shot here, but it double covers broken up. And wisely, we're just going to Adam Vinatieri, not afraid to kick three. I mean, he is a kicker after all, but it's what it is. And most likely the final play before halftime is going to be a carry for Breece Hall. And that will take us to the halftime report. Obviously, we're not going to really have any highlights because it's Thursday night football, but we'll get to see our own. Just what we really need to do is play better defense. We've allowed some scrambling for Justin Fields. And I feel like if we could force another turnover or two, we'll be golden. Obviously, the New England offense will start with the ball, and it's going to be a carry for Stevenson, finding room up the gut. And it's another New England first down. That is something we've been really good at this season, is keeping ourselves out of third and long situations, but by taking the underneath passes like here to Hunter Henry and just allowing them to get rack yardage. May, recognizing they're going to pinch the line, is going to audible to play action. Looking, May's just going to take it himself for the first down. Taking an unnecessary hit there, though. Not what you like to see from what you think is going to be your franchise quarterback, but regardless, May is just... he fumbles the ball. You have got to be kidding me. Harrison Phillips, the recently acquired defensive tackle from the Vikings, just pops it out. Boop. And there we go. And this game may be out of reach if they score. Breece Hall just cooking our defenders. But only a gain of 2 there. Now, let's see what Joseph Fields decides to do here. He'll drop back to pass, looking at Allen Lazard, and he will pick up a first down. Just, defense needs to play better. Play action. Fields looking, scrambling, and he is sacked. Christian Barmore bringing him down once again in the backfield, wreaking havoc on this offensive line, this very young offensive line, obviously without Elijah Vera Tucker for the season, and Fields is going to take off his scramble here, and he will not get it. 4th and 1, and Aaron Glenn decides to punt. Very interesting. So the fumble does not cost us. Gibson, good room up the gut, and it's another first down. Gibson, I have noticed, does have a decent burst to him, and just like to get him the ball a little bit more, and this is the reason we really haven't been getting him the ball. Travion Henderson, his ability to get out of the backfield, catch the ball, rack yardage, and his ability to get the explosive carries that he does, very, very impressive. And just like this, if that's Stevenson, is probably a little bit slower because he's a power back, but just a little bit faster allows us to not be as one-dimensional. Just a slight overthrow by May there. Great route running there from, I believe that was Stephon Diggs. And Kyle Williams just refusing to go down, bullying his way forward for a first down. It's going to be a pitch to Henderson. He picks up about 8 or 9. And Stevenson is checked back into the game now. The bullying back will not get forward. The fullback just would not get out of Stevenson's way there. That way he couldn't get through the hole. But we're going to go for it. 4th down, screen pass. Stevenson just refusing to not pick it up. And it will be a first down. 1st and goal, more specifically. And it's going to be a carry for Stevenson up the gut. And he has tackled into the end zone. Ramondre Stevenson playing very, very well like I said, a Sonic and Knuckles type dimension for the backfield. And it seems to be very, very explosive in the backfield. We're going to go for 2 here. May looking and is batted down. We had Stephon Diggs on the slant route, but the defensive lineman just too athletic. Fields looking underneath to his receiver, and it's broken up on 3rd down. They're forced to punt the ball back to New England. It's going to be a carry for Stevenson, a blocker in front. Stevenson, a good burst for about 15. The running game has really destroyed this Jets front 7, tiring them down, and it's going to be another carry for Henderson and another good burst for 15. Henderson and Stevenson, I can't emphasize it enough, playing very well. Our running game is playing very well, and it's another gashing run for Henderson. Consistent gains of 15 yards. The chunk plays continue to destroy the Jets defense, and this time Diggs holds on to the diving reception, and now we're just like that into the red zone. May going to audible to a run. Henderson untouched. The Red Sea's part, and he is into the end zone. Travion Henderson, obviously, in real life, the Patriots aren't utilizing him as much as they would hope. They said they were going to get him more carries today, as far as when I'm recording this, October 26th. So, 29-17 now. It's going to be a wide open Mason Taylor right over the middle. And in the hurry up now, just a little over 2 minutes left to go in the game. The Jets are going to have to be very vigilant of where they're throwing the ball. Looking across the middle, a crossbody throw to Breece Hall for another first. They will remain in the hurry up. It's going to be a play fake, and looking wide open over the middle is Garrett Wilson, trying to will his way into the end zone and will his team's way into a W. But it may not be enough time to will a drive or 2 drives even to win this football game. But Fields trying to do everything in his power to win this game, as well as the rest of the Jets team, it seems like, although their defense has been not great. And he finds a wide open Allen Lazard, turning back the clock to the good Green Bay Packer days, and another touchdown for Justin Fields in the Jets offense. We still have a game here, although they do not go for the onside kick, which is a questionable. They trust the defense, and maybe they shouldn't, with how much we've been running the ball and how successfully we've been running the ball. I don't think it's a smart idea to even do that, but this time we're going to drop back to pass. May, wide open running room, green grass ahead, trying to go down, but is tackled from behind. And that may put the dagger here in this one. It's going to be a carry for Stevenson, slithering his way through for another first down, and that will most likely end this one off. 29-24 is your final score, as the Jets will drop to 4-6. And your Green Bay I just got done watching the Green Bay Packers game against the Steelers, where they won 35-25. But yeah, the Patriots will advance to 8-3 on the season, looking very likely to be a playoff contender in this year's Super Bowl race. So, and we're hoping that we can make it there. And my goal for this series isn't to win just one or 2 Super Bowls. I'm trying to bring the Patriots back to a dynasty. Running the ball, very split, even carries, but even passing the ball, no one guy had too many receptions. And defensively, 2 sacks for Barmore and 1 for Mapu and Williams, and the 1 interception for Bobby Spillane. Do have a press conference after the game, though. Great win. Seems like you had a clear game plan. What made the big difference today? We felt like their quarterback wasn't up to the NFL standard. If we pressed the issue, I feel like Justin Fields was good, personally. I do. Jabril Peppers, he thinks he brought a lot of energy. He believes in his teammates, and he's proud of all of them. Who deserves the win all around? We're going to give it to the fans. We're going to take a look at our first prospects here today. We're going to take a look at quarterbacks, which we're not really going to look at drafting. We're going to take a look at running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. So let's start off with the QB position. Carlos Smith, 6'4", strong arm out of Ole Miss. He's got decent physicals, but where you're really getting out of him is the accuracies seem to be good. He's good under pressure. He's got a good spiral. He gets rid of the ball at first signs of pressure, which is not always what you want to look for. Does well at avoiding sacks by throwing the ball away, which is a good thing. Plays well within and outside the pocket, which is also a very good thing, especially for a strong arm talent. And he has an elongated motion with a quick release. Interesting. An interesting prospect nonetheless. I think I could see him going to somewhere like the Steelers. And then we have another top 5 quarterback, Nathan Whitaker. Another strong arm. He's 22 out of Arkansas. 6'2". His throw power is good to solid, which is not always what I would look for in a quarterback. Great awareness, meaning he'll probably be a high overall quick. But C break sack, C throw on the run, A medium accuracy. Could be an interesting prospect. And then our last top 5 quarterback, Phil Harvey. A little bit less known about him. A little bit more throw power. Got a good spiral, gets rid of the ball at first signs of pressure, avoids sacks, plays well within and outside the pocket. Fast flick of the wrist throwing motion. He's 23, out of Michigan, 6'6", 227. And you're getting somebody who can work off play action and stands tall in the pocket. So, interesting to see where he goes. And then we have a couple later first-round talents. Scott DeVoe, a scrambler, a first scrambler type, 6'3", 22 out of the University of Georgia. He gets happy feet, so he will run a lot and feels non-existent pressure. So could be good, could be bad at the same time. Does well to avoid sacks. Vast majority of his successes come while in the pocket, which is interesting for a scrambler type. He has a slow, elongated throwing motion, which is not what I would look for. Does not have anything below a good or solid for his physical, so a decent athlete. C awareness, not great. His deep accuracy is it's all right, but and then we have throw on the run for a B as well. So definitely not good as the top 3 guys, but could be good in the future. And then rounding out the first round to second round is Cam Boyd. Uh, a 6'2" field general out of Yale, which is interesting because I don't even think they're in the college football. They're not even an FBS team. I think they're an FCS team, if we're being completely honest. So, could that inflate his draft stock? It is possible. He's not a great athlete, and his stuff is not too great. And then on the second round talent and the third to fourth, we're not going to take a look at anywhere below because I don't like. We look at Blake Carvey, or Carey rather. D awareness, like, not really going to amount to much. So, looking at our second to third round talent, Draymond McMillan, a 6'1" field general out of North Dakota State. Could this be a Trey Lance type of quarterback? Let's find out. Right off the bat, doesn't look like a great athlete. Has great short accuracy, decent medium accuracy. Could fumble a lot with D carrying. And then his throw on the run, probably more of a structured type quarterback in the pocket. So, the next three to fourth round talents, Blake Johnson, a 6'1" field general out of South Dakota, so maybe familiar with Draymond McMillan. Decent athlete, is not too fast. He's actually really slow, if I had to guess. And B, under pressure. C, awareness. I have a feeling he's not going to really amount to anything. But first off, I want to start by Alec Barker. You look nothing like a quarterback, especially at 5'11". But that face scan looks just a little bit strange for a quarterback. He's 5'11", a scrambler archetype out of Illinois. And if you follow any of college football, you know that they have been really good so far this season. Elite to great throw power, which is what I would be looking for. B, medium accuracy, and B, throw on the run. Could be a potential sleeper pick. Just there is some concerns with at that height. I mean, we've seen quarterbacks make that work, like Kyler Murray, and that's about it. But John Green, our last quarterback we're going to talk about here, is a scrambler archetype. He's 6'3", out of LA Tech. Right off the bat, he has decent physicals. They're not anything to write home about, but based on his awareness rating, not really going to amount to anything if I had to guess. And that's going to do it for quarterbacks. Moving on to running backs now. There is a good amount of running back talent in this draft class. Obviously, not going to talk about any of the day 3 guys. We'll probably talk about the day 3 guys a little bit closer to the draft. And the round 3 to 4 guys we're probably going to talk about closer to the draft as well, for running backs at least, because there's a lot of top talent. Nick Bailey, out of Auburn. He's a 6-foot power back. He's 23. He has great strength. He's got solid, decent speed, which is not what I would look for in a running back, but obviously he's a power back. B, break tackle, B, carrying, B, stiff arm. He gets careless with the ball, which could be a problem. Leads to a lot of fumbles. He has concentration drops out of the backfield. Does fight for every single inch as a runner. Avoids big hits following catches. And excels at creating yards after the catch. So, a little bit of a hybrid running back there. Is 230 pounds. Kyrie Kinney, an elusive back, 6 foot, 215, out of Clemson. Also careless with the ball. Has concentration drops. Fights for every single yard. Avoids big hits after catches and excels at creating yards after the catch. So it's very similar, just different archetype. the main thing with him is he's got a greater speed than the previous one. Kyrie Kinney also has great ball carrier vision, so he can hit the hole. The C-spin move is a little bit questionable, but we'll have to see. We'll have to follow all these guys' careers as the league goes on. Ben Valaggio, or however you pronounce his last name, he's a 5'11" power back, 229. He's 21 years old, out of Florida. He's a physical runner. Needs to work on concentration drops, fights for every single inch as a runner, and he excels at catching the ball out of the backfield. Elite strength. His speed is not fantastic, but be stiff arm, be trucking, definitely a full power back. Could be a potential receiving threat as well. Calvin Carter, out of Colorado. He's 5'10", 224, and he's 22 years old. Elusive back archetype. Very similar to the last couple of running backs we've talked about. His physicals are decent. A carry, B ball carry vision. Not a great route runner. Definitely has potential to develop into something. And the last two we're going to talk about, Robbie Fletcher, 1. He does look to have some pretty good key ratings. Obviously, very similar to the previous, like the rest of the running backs, but his physicals aren't great. But looking at the key attributes, A ball carrier vision, B break tackle, and B carrying. So, potentially could be a later round selection that could end up being he could be taken earlier than his projected. He's projected 56 now, but he's been rising up boards, so who knows. Tommy Goodwin, a 6'1" power back out of North Carolina. Great strength. He does have a little bit of wheels on him, for a power back at least. A trucking, D juke move, but it's what you expect out of a power back. And B ball carrier vision, so definitely a true power back as well. And then the last one we're going to talk about, Dylan Hyde, 5'11". He's a power back out of Army, so he's familiar with the triple option. Poor change of direction, poor jumping, poor acceleration, so not starting off too well here for Dylan. B, break tackle, D juke, and D spin, so definitely would not have this guy on my board, but who knows. Some teams may be willing to take a chance on him. Now, we will talk about the wide receiver and tight end after the game against the 8-2 Cincinnati Bengals. So this could be a very pivotal game for the AFC. Looking at the standings, we are the second behind Baltimore, who is also 8-2. So this could have very, very important implications for playoffs, which the Bills are starting to sneak up on us. The Dolphins and Jets not looking too great as well. So we'll just have to play it by ear, I guess. But let's hop into this game against the Bengals. To be completely healthy for this game against the Bengals, so very important. A big upgrade here for Joshua Farmer. I believe he just needs more tackling upgrades, so we're going to go with the nose tackle. He's going to go up to 76. And speak of what we need, we get a tackle upgrade. So that's fantastic. The Bengals are an 83. We are an 84. One overall difference between the two teams, and the two quarterbacks projected to win the MVP trophy are in this game. Drake May and Joe Burrow. Drake May has been playing great. 2,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, only 4 picks. Playing great football. I would argue that he's playing better than any other quarterback in the league, hence the reason he's projected to win the MVP trophy. As that is a big completion there to Hunter Henry. Next, he will target Kyle Williams to the outside for another big first down. Ramondre Stevenson in the backfield will take the carry, and he has good space up the middle. Stevenson last week played fantastic, along with Henderson. And Stevenson looking to have another big game, refusing to go down here so far today. 2nd and inches. May, wide open running lane, and he is going to force his way forward for a New England touchdown. Just a fantastic play there. Fantastic recognition by Drake May to see that there's nobody out there on that side. And just gets there, 7-0. And a great throw by Joe Burrow. We get to see the other side of the MVP argument, as that's going to be a gain of about 20 for waiver wire pickup Traylon Burks, former first-round pick, as we're going to get a good stop there with Milton Williams. Former first-round pick of the Titans came over due to the A.J. Brown trade, as we did get the first-round pick of the Eagles and took him with it. Hasn't really panned out so far, as Joe Burrow's going to find T. Higgins underneath for about 9. But the receiving core of the Bengals is no slouch for sure. Why they didn't let go of T. Higgins, I don't know, to go pick up offensive line, but it's 4th and 2 now on a great stop by the middle linebacker Gibbons, who has really had a breakout season here so far. And it's going to be a handoff, and Gibbons reads it all the way. Going nowhere is Chase Brown, stuffed in the backfield, and rough start here for the Bengals. It's going to be a handoff for Stevenson, just bullying his way forward for about 9. And it is 3rd and 1. Stevenson will get the carry. Stevenson has room. Stevenson could, if he had a little bit more burst of speed, he would have been gone. If Henderson has that space, he's gone. And whoa! What a catch by Hunter Henry. I have to see this in replay. What a throw, though, by Drake May as well. But Hunter Henry with the style points? Seriously, Hunter Henry? Like, just sticks up one hand and just snags it. He needed that ball. Just walks it into the end zone, too. Nonchalantly just snags it out of the air and just walks it into the end zone. Just, wow. Burrow drops back to pass, and he will find his man, Jamar Chase. The LSU connection is there. Chase, obviously, arguably the best wide receiver in the league. But you could also argue it for the other LSU wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. So, the LSU national title team from that year specifically just produced so much NFL talent, especially at skill position. And left wide open is Gesicki. He breaks Jabril Peppers' ankles, and into the end zone he goes. Mike Gesicki, obviously drafted by the Dolphins, went through a stint with New England even, and now he's here with the Bengals. Good screen pass there for Stevenson. He gets up with a little fury, and threading the needle once again is Drake May to Stephon Diggs. It's going to be a handoff. Henderson, that's what he provides for you. Just outruns the linebacker Anzalone, and a good gain of 15. That's what we like to see from the run game. And he's going to get another carry here for about 8 yards. Now, Henderson will remain in the game, although he is gassed. And May rolling right into a sack. Darius Knight Jr. with the just bringing him down, and Henderson running with passion just bullies over a bigger, stronger defensive tackle, although Henderson doesn't believe so. And just sacked again. Off the edge, Trey Hendrickson. We'll see how long he tries to stay with the team. I know in real life he is requesting a trade, and Stevenson finding great room up the middle. Stevenson's been fantastic so far in these first 2 quarters. And May rolling, and he's not going to find anybody. Can't even find any running room. And we have 0 sacks still up to this point in the game. Not great. 17-7 is your score so far, and I think that may be on us. That penalty, it looks to be a roughing call, and it will be. Jack Gibbons just hit Joe Burrow, and what would have been only a gain of 2 turns into a gain of 15 off the penalty. From the 46, it's 1st and 10. Looking is T. Higgins, and he will pick up 4 yards. They will stay in hurry-up mode. Now, Burrow will take the snap, looking to pass. Will find his man, Brown, on the flat route, and smartly going out of bounds. This game really does have playoff implications, so could be a very, very, very important game for the future. We'll take a look at the playoff picture after this one just to see where we will be. But I have a feeling if we win, we're secured at least a playoff spot. And, I thought Cincinnati was the best team, but the AFC North, once again, overloaded with talent. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson in there. Heck, even 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers putting up some stats, but still. The only team that really isn't competitive, the Browns. Yeah, I'm not dogging on the Browns, but they ain't great. I'll just say that. And just like that, they're in the red zone. Burrow steps up and will find his receiver, Traylon Burks, in the end zone. Whenever Traylon Burks will play anybody else besides a user player, he'll probably just not go off, and then against us, he'll just end up going off. I hope I don't foreshadow anything, but let's forget that and go into the halftime report. And we will start in Houston. CJ Stroud off the back foot, finding his receiver. And just snag it. That is, I believe, Nico Collins just going into the end zone. 20-17 is your final. Houston walking away with another win. That one could have playoff implications too. But next we head to Kansas City. And when it's a torrential downpour and Danny Dimes delivers... Or no, that's Anthony Richardson. Beg my pardon. But to Michael Pittman, who went off against the Tennessee Titans today. So, and then we'll head to Green Bay, which could also have playoff implications. Just J.J. McCarthy stiff-arming a player to the ground and just bullies his way into the end zone. 17-7 at halftime. It 17-7 or 17-17 at halftime in Pittsburgh. So, but obviously in this one, We have some decent playmakers, but it's been a hard-fought battle, if we're being completely honest. Only a 3-point game with Cincinnati scoring could definitely be a tight game, and that's what you would expect from the two top quarterbacks in the league as far as MVP race goes. Whether that is considered true or not, I have no clue, but Joe Burrow, working off play action, will find his man Gesicki, who has torched us. After this game, it may be next episode before I do it, but I'm going to calculate the average total yards that a tight end has against our Patriots defense. Because it seems like every time we play a halfway decent tight end with a pulse, we end up giving them 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they just absolutely cook us. Case in point right there, with Gesicki absolutely torching our defense. And it's going to be a handoff to Chase Brown, looking, and he has just unbelievable elusiveness to break the ankles of Spillane. Once again, touchdown, Bengals. And now they take the lead, 17-24. May drops back, will look underneath to Diggs, who will pick up a first down. Obviously, Diggs, the former Buffalo Bill and the former Houston Texan for a year, but it's going to be a carry for Henderson, the rookie, finding great space to the outside. Another first down for the New England Patriots. May dropping back, looking on the comeback route, and that's just a beautiful anticipation right there. Great patience by Drake May, and great anticipation on the route. And Kyle Williams just runs a great route as well. So, all around, great performance there. May rolling, looking, will fire it, a dangerous pass, but it pays off. Stephon Diggs ends up scoring for New England. And right over the linebacker's head goes Joe Burrow's throw to Jamar Chase. Now Burrow looking, will find his man Traylon Burks underneath. And this last play may bring the third quarter to an end on the sneak. I think they will get one more out of this third, but just a very close game, and that would end up being the last play of the third quarter. Heading into the fourth quarter, Burrow just has barely missed any throws, and case in point right there, he'll just deliver accurate balls every play. I think I have some sliders I want to try out. I'm going to test them, and if they end up working, I will definitely be using them, as he's going to fumble. The peanut punch works, and Mapu recovers it. Who popped that ball out? I do not know. I'm going to have to check that. But the peanut punch and threading the needle. What a pass from Drake May to Stephon Diggs. Just a little over 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. It's going to be another great carry for Stevenson. He's up to 94 yards on the game, only on 10 carries. That is something that our team has been very good at. Yards per carry and yards after the catch, I believe we have been one of the best teams at. And Stevenson gets about 6. Drake May has played a phenomenal game. 200 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Just looking like the quarterback we know and love. Ooh. On third down, though, under pressure, just overshot his man, and we're forced to kick 3. Still a one-possession game. We'll see what the Bengals do. Looking underneath, caught Traylon Burks there. And there is just a little over 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this game. Playoff implications on the line. And it's going to be a catch from Mike Gesicki, and he is rocked by Carlton Davis. And now looking back on that play, I do think he was Carlton Davis forcing the fumble on the peanut punch. A screen pass for Brown, finding good space, making a man miss, making two men miss, making the entire defense look silly, and Brown finally brought down at the 29-yard line. Now, Burrow, edging ever closer to the red zone, looking great anticipation. I cannot emphasize enough, if you have a quarterback that has anticipation, patience, you're normally going to have a really good franchise quarterback on your hands. And that's something that Joe Burrow has, and I think Drake May shows a lot of signs of that. He shows a lot of signs of patience, poisonous, and he's just very calm in the pocket. Very rarely does he get rattled. He stays calm on the screen once again, and this time he's brought down 4th and 2. But can't emphasize enough, when you have a calm quarterback, it definitely helps. 30 seconds left to go. Burrow scrambling, finding his man, T. Higgins. And now the win streak is in jeopardy. What will Drake May do? Looking, has a step, and he overshot Diggs on the post route. Oh, that one is painful. We have 3 timeouts still, but another post left wide open, and the great anticipation once again, but it's dropped. Just a little over 10 seconds left to go. Looking underneath, it'll be complete to Henry. It's 4th down. 2 great teams clashing here. It's going to be another over-the-middle pass to Kyle Williams, rushing to the sideline and wisely getting out of bounds. Dropping back to pass, May looking, completing another timeout used by Adam Vinatieri, trying to work his way down the field. Instead of calling Hail Mary, we're going to call a drive play, but trying to get down as Henry takes just a second too long. We were in field goal range, but it would ultimately not matter. He didn't get down in time, and just unlucky. Very, very unlucky. We suffer our first loss in a while. And statistically, the game wasn't even terrible, unless you count defensive pressure, which I don't think we had a single sack this game. We didn't have a turnover besides the fumbles, but Joe Burrow, this is what I'm talking about. 31 for 30, that's just not happening in real life. Good running game from both running backs. I mean, a couple big catches from Kyle Williams, but no defensive pressure, no interceptions. Did have the forced fumble, and that's officially from Jabril Peppers, I believe. Do have an upgrade after the game from Travion Henderson. He gets 2, gets awareness, and I believe that was juke move. Taking a look at the playoff schedule, and yes, we have dropped down to the 3rd seed. Off this one, we are going to take a look at the receiving positions as wide receiver and tight end. First player we're going to take a look at, top 5 true talent, Emmanuel Mitchell, a 6'4" physical receiver out of Mizzou. Has consistent drops, but he has great body control. Fights for every single inch as a runner. No issues climbing the ladder to make catches. Avoids big hits following catches. And excels in creating yards after the catch. This guy is going to be fantastic. His ratings, as far as physicals go, are fantastic. And his skills are very good as well. A awareness, a break tackle, a carrying, a catch of traffic, a catching, a deep route, a release. He needs to work on the intermediate stuff, but he's even a really good run blocker, so this guy's going to be fantastic for years to come. Next wide receiver we're going to look at is Levi Hodges. He's a 6'2" physical receiver out of USF. A very similar build to Emmanuel Mitchell, but a little bit worse of an athlete, a little bit worse in the deep route running. Doug Fox, a little bit of a drop in talent, as you can see. We do have him scouted, but another physical receiver. He's 6'3", out of LSU, very similar to the rest. A little bit better of an athlete compared to Hodges, but obviously he is a little bit worse of a talent. Owen Richards, a playmaker, 6'1" receiver out of Arizona State. He doesn't have the best physicals ever, but a spec catch, a short route, a medium route. He would be the person you would see on the drags and the digs, those kind of routes. And then we have Eric Portillo or something. I'm pretty sure. Being completely honest, I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a deep threat receiver, 6'1", out of Ole Miss. He's 21 years old. Pretty good physicals. A very similar build to what Kyle Williams is, I believe. A deep route, a speedster, a deep threat. I believe he could be decent. And then Wayne Levens, a slot receiver, 6'1", out of Oklahoma. He's 21 years old. Pretty decent physicals. A awareness, A ball carrier vision, A break tackle, A catch of traffic, B catching, B deep route, D deep route, B medium route, and an A short route. So the closer he is to you, probably going to make a move and get down the field. A good run after the catch threat, as I believe. Taking a look at the tight end position, there is definitely some interesting, but there's only about 5 that I would consider. We'll talk about Raymond Cabrera here, a 6'3" possession type out of Ole Miss. So he did play with one of the quarterbacks, I believe. If we go up here and check, yes, the top quarterback in Carlos Smith he played with. So Cabrera is catching the ball from a very good quarterback, but he is not always a receiving threat. A run block, which is fantastic for a tight end. So we'll have to see and follow his career. And then we got Manu Felix. Once again, another decent run blocking tight end, but he can catch the ball as well. Good route runner. A 6'4" possession type. He's 23, out of Boston College. Has potential, I believe. But the one that I'm interested in is Esteban Portillo, out of Louisville. He's 6'4", 21 years old, and a vertical threat type. Really good athletic. He's one of the faster tight ends in the class. He can catch the ball phenomenally. A deep route, A catch of traffic, B medium route. Could be a steal in the second or third round. Gene Griffin, a 6'6" vertical threat, 21 years old, out of Ohio State. Also, once again, decent athletics. Could catch the ball phenomenally, but could also pass block. So, I believe he could be a very versatile tight end. And on to the last one, Trayvon Tart. A 6'4" vertical threat. He's 24, a little bit on the older side of a rookie, but also an Ohio State tight end. So, you may be asking, do they run a 2 tight end set? A lot. I would have to say yes, because having 2 back-to-back Ohio State tight ends just seems to be a little bit different. So, that's going to be all here today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Have a blessed day.